stealing a horse, cutting down trees, breaking down riverbanks, impersonating a Chelsea pensioner, setting fire to haystacks, appearing on the street with a sooty face, poaching, burglary, shop breaking, 200 hanging offences.
Execution was commonplace here, and many of the convicts were hanged right outside the prison. And I wonder whether any of the spirits are still hanging around. Now, of course, I am not going to spend the whole night in this prison on my own. You must be joking. I'll be too scared for that. So, of course, we've got the most haunted team. We've got Mark on Steadicam, Angle behind, and, of course, we've got the lovely Martin and the rest of the crew. Say hi. Hi. Where's Marcel? You always get really scared.
It's a really...
Hello everyone.
I know that they exist now.
Although now it's used as a tourist attraction. Since 1756, it has housed hundreds of prisoners. Many of them died here and still refuse to leave.
So, is the old Derby prison haunted, or is it just a tourist attraction to pull in the crowds? That's what the Most Haunted team want to find out.
There were over 200 hanging offences in England. You could be hanged for stealing a sheep, stealing a horse, cutting down trees, breaking down riverbanks, impersonating a Chelsea pensioner, setting fire to haystacks, appearing on the street with a sooty face, poaching, burglary, shop breaking, 200 hanging offences.
Execution was commonplace here, and many of the convicts were hanged right outside the prison. And I wonder whether any of the spirits are still hanging around. Now, of course, I am not going to spend the whole night in this prison on my own. You must be joking. I'll be too scared for that. So, of course, we've got the Most Haunted team. We've got Mark on Steadicam, Angle behind, and, of course, we've got the lovely Martin and the rest of the crew. Say hi. Hi. Where's Marcel? You always get really scared.
There's a really funny atmosphere in there. It's quite oppressive, so I'm not looking forward to tonight, really.
Go on, give us a smile.
That should scare people.
Now, most people, if they encounter anything paranormal, immediately jump to the conclusion that it's a ghost. Now, Jason Carr, parapsychologist, you don't do that.
I don't do that. I don't believe in ghosts.
At all?
When they think they've seen a ghost or had some kind of unusual occurrence, automatically will assume that it is paranormal without looking into it. We look for scientific evidence, we look for logical explanations, looking at it in a logical and analytical way. People don't do that. They're too ready to accept the unknown.
A bit like myself.
A bit like you.
And Marcel as well.
And a few more people here as
Absolutely.
well.
Now, here at the prison, what sort of strange occurrences have happened in the past here?
Well, being a prison, it's associated with lots of unpleasant and negative feelings anyway. A lot of people obviously have spent a lot of time here in unpleasant situations and conditions waiting to die. So you're going to get that feeling when you go in anyway. You don't need to be psychic or in tune to get that. But people have seen ghosts here, smoky shapes, they've had things moving, they've had actually a ghost stood just where we're sat here in the garden. A man in a long leather sort of jerkin type of affair. There isn't any particular historical personalities that can be identified haunting here. It's really a selection of different characters.
And what about, I know there's a connection, because isn't today supposed to be a pagan holiday?
It is, yeah. Today is Imbolc, or Oimelc, and that is one of the 8 pagan festivals throughout the year. It's a Celtic festival, really, and it symbolises the change from winter into spring. So it's about rebirth, it's about happiness, growth, crocuses, rabbits, all the nice things coming back in from the winter. And Celtic pagan festivals are linked to supernatural and unusual phenomena, and there is statistically more unusual things happening around pagan festivals, so it might be interesting that we're here on a particularly special day. We might get more happening.
Is it true to say that when you're actually in an environment like this, that the energy can actually build up gradually, or not at all?
If you believe the energy is there at all, then the theories state that yes, when there's lots of people around, more things happen when the energy is built up. Now, we know from studies that when people are in a group having fun or working or doing anything really, just being active, that more things happen. If you sit around waiting, we've said this before, waiting for the ghost to appear, nothing happens. So the energy, if you believe that, is probably building as we speak.
What's this thing called ectoplasm?
Ectoplasm, yeah. Well, ectoplasm is, it derives actually from a Greek word, or two words, ektos and plasma, which literally means exteriorized substance. And when you see photographs of wispy, ghost-like images, that is supposed to be ectoplasm. But if you go back to spiritualist days when mediums in the Victorian era used to give seances, they supposedly would produce, perhaps I'm saying the wrong thing here, they used to produce ectoplasm from their bodies, and the ectoplasm would come out and form into the shape of a ghost. That's what it's supposed to be. There's no scientific evidence for it.
Has it happened here?
It's supposed to happen in every haunted house, so we might get some tonight, you never know.
Now, you're going to be doing some experiments here tonight. What
We
sort
are.
of things are we going to be doing?
Well, I'm going to use a trigger object across. Now, this is particularly relevant here because this site actually has links with a nunnery, and some of the reported unusual occurrences are associated with nuns or monks chanting. So that's to try and entice the ghosts out, if you like. But more interesting than those here, I particularly want to try a new experiment, which is known as automatic writing. Now, in spiritualist history, this is where a medium goes into a trance state, and blindfold, they write on a piece of paper, and allegedly the information that is written comes from a ghost. Now, you don't have to be psychic or mediumistic to try this, and I'd like yourself and perhaps a couple of members of the crew to do this in each of the cells, separate.
Are we all
And,
happy to do that? Nobody's putting their hand
No.
up.
Well, if we can do it, it'd be interesting, I think, to look at the different things that come out and see if they correspond to anything historical. So I think that will be very interesting and very relevant here because we can put you separate.
Now, of course, our team would not be complete without our spirit medium, Derek Akora, and he is on his way as we speak.
You stood on the back of a cart. Big, thick rope put around your neck. The horse was drawn away, and you were left literally swinging in the breeze. It could take you anything up to a quarter of an hour to die of slow strangulation, kicking, writhing, choking, vomiting. And then he used to cut the rope up into small lengths and sell it to the crowd. Money for old rope. After the execution, murderers were also sentenced to be either dissected publicly by doctors or gibbeted, which is hung up in a metal cage. Your body was tarred and you were hung near the scene of the crime and left to rot, and for the crows to pick at your eyes and your bones to bleach. And of course, you see in those days, as today, we all crave a decent burial. And people were terrified of not having this burial and their body not being whole. So of course they believed that on the Day of Judgment, if their body wasn't whole and their soul wasn't, and they'd rot in hell forever. Some people, of course, tried to take their own lives. And here, in this building, two brothers, burglars, the Jones brothers, actually committed suicide inside one of these cells the night before their execution. And this was the terrible, terrible torment of these poor, unfortunate people that occupied these cells here.
Yeah. Okay.
The prison is designed to hold 21
Okay.
convicts. That's one person per cell. Can you imagine what it must have felt like when they put 6 people in there for 23 hours a day? Picture this. You're all sitting quietly in this room when all of a sudden the face of a dead person superimposes itself onto the person sitting right next to you. How terrifying that would be. Well, that is what has been reported in this very room. All All of the cells run off this main passageway where ghostly figures are often seen. Also noises are heard here, clicking, scraping, dragging and bolts being closed across doors. Prisoners were split into cells, felons, debtors and women. But it's in this particular cell that a lot of paranormal activity has been reported. Strange, shapeless mists, streaks of light, and the noise of something turning over on the straw bed.
I've been doing ghost walks around the city of Derby for the last 9 years. People used to say, will we see a ghost? And I used to say no, not on a commercial ghost walk, until I took this building over. And the number of people that have had, for want of a better word, experiences, ghostly ones in here, including me, it does alter your outlook when you really, really have seen something yourself. And I have.
What I'm actually doing here, we haven't officially started the investigation yet, Derek hasn't arrived, but just because people are milling around and a few things and feelings have been reported in this cell and the cell next door, I thought I'd set up a trigger object now. So what I'm doing is drawing around the edge of the cross, exactly, so we can tell if it's moved even a few millimetres. It does look paranormal. Now we have had this and other things move in other locations, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I'll secure it up again. So
What?
make sure no one's gone.
What's the matter?
You're trying to frickin' scare the crap out of me.
Hello, princess.
Very scientific way of
Yeah.
securing the location.
Oh. You come in.
Derek Akora, our spiritualist medium, had found the jail, making our investigation team complete. Before our investigation, there was time to discuss our favourite subject, ghosts.
Do you actually think that they have a choice for where they can actually haunt?
Yes, I do, Richard, because, you know, as we exercise this special thing that we call free will here, when we're in the physical body, it's no different when we're in the spirit body. So, yes, without a doubt, we can pick and choose. But generally, in the choosing, it's generally to something and a place where we've had experience.
Can I ask you a question on what you've just said there, Derek?
Yeah.
Because when you look at ghost stories, ghost tales, a lot of emphasis is put on ghosts not liking where they are. Why would they choose to be stuck in that limbo state?
Okay, well, to my understanding, you'll find a person, an individual, being stuck in an atmosphere. If they've passed away from the physical body in an unnatural way, the likelihood is 9 out of 10 they can be stuck in the atmosphere until, for a certain period of time, until they're actually, let's say, encouraged from a higher sphere by, if you wish, angelic beings to come along and show
Put the
them
lock on the wrong way, so it's
now
still
no
open.
longer should be in this
I have to go
atmosphere
and lock
to
it.
seek the light.
Why is it that ghosts seem to like to haunt graveyards? You think that they want to sort of go to a more pleasant place to haunt. Why stay where they were buried?
Well, I think it's actually a common misconception that ghosts haunt graveyards. I mean, if you look at the statistics of people who've reported ghost sightings in graveyards, they're very, very, very rare. There is an interesting folk tale to do with ghosts in graveyards, and that is that the first person who is interred in the graveyard haunts it and looks after the rest of the ghosts, and it's known as the graveyard guardian. And if you look back in English folk tales, there's hints at somebody being sacrificed when a new graveyard is created in order that the graveyard has its graveyard guardian. But if you, as I say, if you look at the evidence, there's not many sightings of ghosts actually in graveyards.
And I'd like to add also that in the time that I've been doing my work with spirits, I've never known one spirit yet to have the inclination to go back to a place where possibly their bones have been buried, to a dark, damp, horrible place. Their first inclinations are, let's get back home, where I had some fantastic experiences, where, you know, my family, my loved ones are, and I know that when I go in there, it's going to be brightness. If I go to the graveyard, I'll probably be the only one standing there, having a look at all the graves with no one else there but myself. So, no, I don't go with many spirits wanting to go back to graveyards.
Also, I suppose a graveyard is really an unfamiliar place because it's new to that, because they've only just been buried there. It's like you said, you know, to go back to where they lived is somewhere they know, which is familiar to them.
There's another point as well about graveyards. There's a lot of photographs taken of orbs in graveyards. Now, we don't know what these orb things are, we've caught them ourselves, we don't know what they are. But one theory is that in graveyards, natural earth gases are emitted from the ground, and that under certain conditions these can be seen as lights. They're often described as will-o'-the-wisp lights in certain folk traditions, and this might be something completely natural caused by bodies, which is seen by the human eye. That may explain why people think they see odd things in graveyards. There's nothing ghostly at all.
I've got a question. How come if so many ghosts are seen, parapsychologists don't believe
Hi,
in it?
Patrick.
Well, that's an interesting question, Martin. And really, when people think they've seen a ghost or had a ghostly encounter, they're not looking at it rationally. They're accepting it being a ghost or being paranormal as an explanation, and it isn't. If they look at it in an objective, analytical, scientific way, then they'll probably find that 9 times out of 10, what they've experienced isn't ghostly at all, and that's why I don't believe in ghosts. No one's actually been in here for just under an hour, and we've secure space, no one's been inside. We're just going to check to see if it's
Go on. Bloody hell.
Oh, it's moved! It's moved loads! Look, it's moved! Hey! It's moved 7-8 millimetres right out of the line. You can see it's completely moved. No one's been in here. It's been a controlled area as much as we
Is
can.
this yours? Good girl.
That's interesting because normally
I'll give you this and then I can get back to spray painting.
I particularly chose the cross
Alright,
because there
come
is a
in.
connection to
There you
nuns
go.
and monks being heard here singing or
Good
chanting.
girl.
And there is a nunnery very, very close to here, or there used to be. This area actually where the prison or the jail was
nice.
originally built was known as Nuns Green. That was its original name, which is why we chose the cross, because it might be particularly interesting to people. And also, because they are waiting for their sort of hour of death or time of death, day of death, a sort of symbol which will give them hope, like a cross would to somebody who believes in that.
Oh, you got the whole lot.
Would
You chew that, be careful.
Perhaps another object, so particularly relevant to here in its work. I would bet my sort of money on this that it won't be on tape because we've already had some odd things.
Hiya, Patrick.
In this cell this
How you
evening.
doing?
So I will bet my money that there's nothing on the tape and that it will have happened after the tape finished.
Oh, you found the wheel for the SS. What is it?
RS/SS
Daytona.
Daytona.
I like that car.
Daytona.
Amazingly, we had caught the cross moving.
That's on the box.
Unfortunately, the camera was not set wide enough, so we couldn't see all sides of the paper. All we know was that the cell was locked and no one could
Ta-da!
Camaro. Camaro. No.
Was that
This
nice?
could only be classed as poltergeist
Yeah.
activity. The moving
Come in,
cross
love.
had made us all
Good
jumpy,
girl.
but Derek wanted to go back to the same
very
cell
well
to
behaved
see if he
today.
could communicate with anyone.
You're going to keep you busy with work. I'll be training new people again. Wow, what happened to the last lot? Have you sacked them? Not fired them, have you? Or they all walked out?
This energy is
Because it was too
taking me
difficult.
back in a reflection of a life.
Don't worry, I've had people do that on me. I can't cope with the pressure. Huh? I knew it. I fucking knew it. You have it on the starter section making sandwiches and stuff during the summer. And it's like, I can't cope with it. It's too much.
I can't do it.
If you're organised and well prepped, it's easy. That's the thing though. It's like they teach them in college and it's like, make some tuna mayo and they make enough for like 2 people. but when they're like dealing with a restaurant and they can't get over the size when they're opening up 5 kilo tins of tuna. How much mayo do we put in? Fucking hell. Yeah. Fucking heavy.
I feel for you, Patrick.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going through. Yeah, geez, a bit shite. Want to work, but can't handle the acute work. I know. What is it?
Tell you what, I was going to say, send me there and I'll help. Don't bother me.
I think the worst thing is if like you go in on the next shift and nobody's done any prep.
And you're like, what
it's
the
gonna,
F?
you know it's going to be busy, and you're trying to do prep and keep up, and it's just like, nah.
No, it must be for the one up there.
It's a white car.
Oh my god. I think it was like,
Yeah, they say they have experience with fast food, but when they get busy, they say it's too much. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, that's too big. I think you're right, might be from up there. Yeah, it's too much. I can't take the pressure.
I know it's completely different for like food prep, etc., etc. But when I was in a newsagent, and they basically left me on my own at the start of the shift because they were counting up the till, in the office, and the queue was right at the bottom of the shop. It was quite a long shop, and they wondered how I did it. I said I just got on with it,
Completely different.
I know it's completely different, but I'm just saying, you just get on with it.
There you go. And then you got a red car with the headlamps going that way, which is that one, I think. Right down here. New generation know the value of hard work. I know. I'm going back years though. They were the same. It was the same, part-time. They came in, part-time work only because they were going back to uni. So basically, or in between uni, so they come back and did it full-time. Very few of them could do it. I'll never forget, the other girl who was there, May Tong. She was working on the bar. She was a uni student. And the bloke went, "Can I have half a pint of bitter shandy, please?" What was it? What was it asked for? Was it beer? Yeah, bitter shandy he asked for. So it was like, 3/4 of, half a pint of lemonade, well, quarter of a pint of lemonade and quarter of a pint of bitter. Yeah? And she put quarter of a pint of fucking bitter in, and instead of lemonade, she put a bitter lemon in. Britvic. And it's like, that's not a bitter shandy. And it's just like, what are you doing?
Oh God, I love shandy. Foster's and lemonade. I used to have with my daddy.
Yeah. Oh dear. Spray paint. Oh, I've got to take a drink. Keep forgetting. So I'm just doing hot dogs tonight.
Yeah.
Well, fucking mini hot dog. Fucking Southern Park, eh?
Yes. I. Yeah, okay, I was a sales assistant at one point. But I did like it. I must admit, I did like it. Because of that that day wasn't the lottery day, as in like when people go and get their lottery tickets. Like a bit like a Powerball or whatever you call it over there. It's not the scratch offs. Well, yeah, get the scratch offs, but people come in with syndicates that's already like a big pile about that big. For me, it was for me to scan through to see if there were any winners, and it was like, what the hell? How on earth did you manage to pay all that? It's just crazy. And then the roll, the pink roll that was obviously ran out. I was fixing that while there was a big queue down the bottom of the freaking store, and I was on my own. and when the supervisor came out and started, I said, "Thank God you're bloody here." So I get it when you're busy. I do get it. But I'll have my own job now. Love me own. Love me own. Yeah, there are people that want to work but don't want to work, if that makes sense. Yes, I agree. I know that. It's entirely different aspects of it all. Na 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 na. Mind you, there was customers that came in because I did the evening shift and whatnot. Stupid boys being dicks. Mm-hmm. It happens in any place. I'm happy as I am right now, to be honest. But where is this one going? Where is this one going to? It's over here. Move these out of the way. I've been really busy today. Na 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 na. Slowly and slowly. Dee 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 dee. I forgot there are loads of red cars. Red cars. It should. It's doing that early here. Sun's setting right now as we speak. Okay, it'll be dark at 8 o'clock PM UK time. So apart from that, you're all good, I hope. Another car nearly done. And it's getting a bit nipply-lippily. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Peppermint oil, yeah, that does usually work. No, 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 no. You've probably seen but to be honest with you, mouses aren't that bad. It's the other ones. Yeah, I agree. I think that one's a bit of a pet type. They would have been tame enough to, you know. Trained enough to retame. That's what I meant to have said.
Oh dear. Oh, hey there, kitty. Most wildlife might have been a pet because most wildlife run away from humans. Afraid. Yeah, you put peppermint oil You know, they won't come near it. Nice rats, anything like that. Don't like peppermint oil. Mousey, mousey. Not seen that mouse.
Mm-mm.
In the back.
Yeah, we got a field mouse, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah, a little field mouse. We had running round, feeding him. Yeah, probably one of the cats had him.
Mm.
I can't believe the roses are still blooming.
I know.
Okay, kitty cat. Oh, scratch session.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. We both said it at the same time. Forgot about that.
You'll go. Are you scratching my ticket? Go.
£50. £1. £1.
Oh, not again.
£5. 20. 10. 20. 5. £1.
It's not blue, is it, again?
No, it's black.
He won £1.
Yeah, just £1. And the cross fingers I've got to find. Nah, just £1.
You've won again. So you're beating me. Let's have a look at this. £2. £2. £1. Oh no.
That's so good. Awesome.
And they're all blue. That's double.
Yes, that's double. That's £4.
Fiver. £5.
£5 win. We both won.
Cool. We won a fiver today.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Hey, I think I like these ones. We don't normally do the gambling, but if there's a winner, we obviously replace, but
Yeah.
until we lose.
No, what we normally do is when it turns into from coins to a note, we normally stop and keep the note and put it in the pot.
Yeah, that's it.
So that fiver can be cashed in. That's a fiver for the pot. Right?
Yep.
Are you okay, kitty cat? Yeah? You tired? Oh. Oh, he is sleepy. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Still.
Hey, don't bite me. Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. That's the biggest win.
Yep.
What was that? 5 days, isn't it? We've been doing that.
Yeah.
But it's not been costing us anything.
No.
Because we kept winning £2.
Exactly. So any wins from the winning ticket goes back to getting more tickets to win. I think that's how you do it.
Yeah, I got blue twos. We're in a fiver.
See, I'm not overly excited.
Not with scratch tickets, and don't get excited about.
Hmm.
Yeah, the win's a win, that's all. Ooh. So that headlights off summer. Is it that one? I don't know. No, that's a single headlight. The double. It's a double. You've done that double, that double, that double, that double. You've got that one. I don't know. I don't know. £5 out. That's about $27 billion. That's all right, win then. Well, that's good because that's just paid for the chicken tomorrow. See? Know when to stop. You don't win anything big anyway. It's just a bit of fun, wasn't it?
Just a tad.
Cool. That's all right. You can cash them in tomorrow. We should go and get the rest of that spray painting done before it gets too dark.
Mm-hmm.
There. Look.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that off? Look. That way round. That bit's there, isn't it? Something like that. Cool. Well done. Congratulations, Dan. Hang on, it's 2 all then.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. We'll have to get another one tomorrow. We'll see. Shit, out of the freezer, isn't it? I might give you 4 hot dogs.
4.
Well, because them buns are so small. And I'll just have bread on the other one.
Right, okay.
Eh? Them buns are fucking tiny.
Slowly. Do 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 do. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba da ba 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 da ba ma ma wa. So it's do 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 do. Moving on. Time to break free.
And I feel a male memory thought. And I feel as if, you know, I want to be, you know, something round my neck as if, you know, like a hanging.
Okay.
But I've also, there's something else, there's another side to him. Another side. And I feel it's like as if, for some reason, he's laughing about the other side of his nature. Because what he said in what I was getting in the residual, and even Sam put it in there, and he said, you know, he was good with the money. He was a master forger. That alone could have got him incarcerated. But he got off with that. Now he's talking about the name Alice. His words, which is left in the residual, Sam is now opening that up for me, it said these words. No, she wasn't guilty. No, she wasn't guilty. David? What do you mean, Sam David? Yes. Say it again. David George. David George. David George. David, say it again, please. It's not very clear.
Is David George a spirit here?
No. No. He said that Alice, she must have been linked here. Yes. She didn't plot to kill him. She didn't plot to kill him. Who did she not plot to kill? David?
David
Do that to me. David Lloyd. David Lloyd George. David Lloyd. She was not guilty, but she was incarcerated. Take that off me. Don't do that to me. Now, this is someone, actually, this is not Sam, it's not the residual energy.
I feel sick.
Yes.
I feel sick.
Do you want to come out?
Do you want to come out a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Yes.
Do you understand
Yes.
what you're giving?
Yes. And some people are not just happy with the idea of a person to be executed with... Yes. Sure. feelings.
What do you think the reason is that
Well,
it's having this
yes,
reaction?
I can understand it very, very clearly. What was actually happening was taking us back in memory of the residual of which I was trying to explain at the time, is that these sorts of conditions and stuff had taken place in these foundations because they take me in mind. Oh, she's okay. She'll be all right in a minute. And they take me in mind because, you know, this is a very, very small building as well, and yet I want to go in mind as if it's much bigger.
In what way?
I just feel as if this is only like a small portion of there's something, maybe the foundations, maybe there was something bigger.
Well, it's part of a bigger building, as you'll
Yes.
There's a building above us,
No,
obviously.
I mean this place here is just a place for people to just resign themselves, just to get themselves ready for the inevitable.
Like a preparation.
Preparation to go after death. A statement was made in that cell there that some people are not happy just to see someone just strung up and hung, but you know, to see the feelings of having your guts ripped out.
Do you mean like hung, drawn and quartered?
Yes.
I cannot explain why I became so emotional. It is something that will bother me for years. 5 minutes after this, I felt absolutely fine.
What did you feel? What
I just felt,
happened to you?
I still feel it now, like
Yes.
sick to my stomach. I
Yes.
feel so embarrassed about this, I have to say. It's just like the sickiest feeling in my stomach. And then the desire to just, I can't explain it. There is no explanation.
When you were in there, Derek, just before that happened, you said, "Don't do that, take it away from me." What were you experiencing? Something pushing you? Or?
I was getting the feeling as if I was being, okay, in the person's position of being pulled, manhandled, knowing at those last seconds he knew his fate. And the feelings of the stomach. Now, you know, what I've just talked about the hung, drawn and quartered, you know, probably some of the most cruelest ways before that sort of physical death is to let the prisoner know exactly what the fate was. So mentally what a vet, as I understand it, was experiencing there was just prior seconds to the person being manhandled, okay? And this is what it hit me, and then the vet started to feel that's it, because in his conscious, in his mental mind, in his mind, consciously, he's saying to himself, I'm being taken to now go and experience this. So his stomach was feeling sick. He was feeling all the emotions.
And-
he was tearful.
And you see, the thing is, today I've been absolutely fine, absolutely happy. I mean, everybody can say that. I've been singing away. And I've only ever been in that room earlier on today, but that was with everybody else. And it was just, I don't know whether you conjured up anything or whatever. All I know is that I would never, and I have never, cried and behaved like I've only ever done that in front of my husband at home.
I've been with you all day here, and you haven't been like this at all. Do you want to go outside?
No, I'm fine. I'll be all right in a minute. Just you carry on.
After a short break to compose myself, we were able to continue the night's investigation.
Now, as we come here to this curtain, and no doubt an aperture there at the back, I'm drawn there, and Sam said to me, you know, in a chuckle way, often he pulls me legs as Sam, he's got a sense of humour, you know, and he said to me, in there, at a given time, in there, I take that to be cell-like. And he said, you know, you've heard of martyrs, haven't you, Derek? What you talk about as martyrdom. And I said, yes. And he said, there was a number of souls that were linked to this here. And he said something else, that so I don't know how many in the number at times of incarceration, but he said, you must say these words very clearly and very precisely and very truthfully. And he said, say these words. So I'm just repeating. Patriarch, or patriarch, martyr. So I want to say, whatever the links with that word or name. Oh, and I get a man who comes in here often and laughs and says, aha, I got away with it. Aha, I got away with it. He didn't stretch my neck. And I said, Sam, who is he? And this man has been seen. I don't know how many times, and the name is George. No, it's not George. Forgive me. That's a separate person. There's been a George in here at some time, but can I say yes? Yes. The surname Bullock. 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 Bullock, spelt with a U, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one who's full of laughter. He escaped the noose. He did a deal. He did a deal. Oh, he's really chuffed with himself, absolutely pleased. But he pays visits.
What's his first name, Derek?
Noel.
Noel Bullock.
Noel and Bullock.
Okay, thank you.
But he talks about the martyrs.
When he says, you say he talks about, so he's not a residual energy spirit, he's a spirit talking to you.
Not to me personally,
to Sam.
to Sam.
Okay, so can you ask Sam to ask him when he was around, what his year of
Ouch.
sentient being life was?
Again, I feel as if, because he's showing me figures, as if they're taking me back to, it's like something 1704, 1706.
Okay.
In time.
Can you ask him who was on the throne at that point?
Well, I don't know what the conflict is, or the confliction here, but he gives me both Charles and then he gives me James.
Okay, thank you.
Look what I'm getting now. Wow, wow, wow. So, excuse me, wow, wow, wow. I feel as if we've got people's bodies being taken, and the bodies are taken somewhere else, and the bodies are being dissected. They're being dissected and cut up, and what have you. But you know, I also get before that some of these necks were not truly stretched or broken, and poor souls found themselves waking up on a slab, and then having to undergo, whoever this person who was cutting actually took the life from them there and then. Stabbing them. Multiple stabbings. And I get those conditions being brought into this atmosphere,
So
but not actually done here.
Not done here.
Taken away, you see. And they were taken away in carts.
Okay.
Open carts. A number of people were actually found themselves experiencing the choking and what have you, and then a blankness, and then waking up in this dark, damp room, and then focusing their eyes, getting full focus. This was affecting my eyes earlier, because they would take me to another room, another area.
Do you want to go to another? Do you want to go to another area, or?
Yes. I feel as if we want
not
to go.
been in here.
Yes, we go here.
Okay.
Can we?
Yeah. Be brave.
Please. Something that I heard very, very strongly. Please, my Father, I repent. Please, my Father, forgive my sins. Please, my Father, I have been of the devil, and no longer do I wish to be this way.
What does that mean, of the devil?
I feel a person who has done terrible deeds, terrible things in their time, and as they've drawn close to the knowledge of their physical deaths, in their own way, it's like a repentance. And it's a lot in here, for some reason, individualised here. Whether it was one individual man, because I get a mental picture of a person who was, he fell from grace. Oh. He fell from grace. He was caught. He was a person of some kind of standing, okay?
Who is the person?
He felt as if he couldn't be caught, or he shouldn't be caught, because of who he was. And he covered up and he covered up. And I feel he actually took the life of a lady. He took the life of a lady. Now, whether this, I feel as if the lady was known to him. Maybe a mistress, a wife, and he was well-to-do, so to speak, in his day, and he never felt as if he could be caught, incarcerated. He was too high up in his life, but he was caught, and he was not caught on a technicality. He was caught and rightly brought to justice in the sense of his incarceration, and he did lose his physical life. He was hung. He was also one of the many that he was known to be saying, as he was led out of this incarceration, ready to face his judgment, God as he would, because he was quoting God all the way, I feel, to the gallows and what have you.
What was he saying? You said he was saying, and you were about to say a sentence.
I feel there was forgive my evil for what I practiced, for what I did and my deeds.
You seem to have got quite a strong link with this entity or spirit.
Yes.
And what you've said is quite anecdotal. Do you know who this is? What's the person's name?
At this moment, I don't.
You don't?
I keep on asking Sam kindly to see if he can interact and find out who he is.
Because it's interesting if I can historically check, 'cause we have a lot of records of the people connected with this building.
Okay.
And it's interesting if I can verify something that you say. That I
Yes.
need.
I know, thank you, Sam. I know the first name connected here is John.
Thank you.
John. And Sam's pointing that with me. Yes, that's the name.
Thank you, Sam.
Good. Also, around the time of many incarcerations waiting to go, this man walked to the gallows. It's like as if he walked with the symbol of faith, the cross. He was holding the cross, and he asked priesthood to come and, in his own way, bless him before he met his maker.
Like the last rites.
Yes. And it was totally in this man's life, in his physical life, this was the opposite of what people outside this jailing system would know of him. They'd say, they'd be shocked and surprised of the way he lived his life. And yet he repented only moments before. But he did ask for some kind of blessings from the clergy. And it wasn't forthcoming until virtually the last minute for his salvation, as he felt.
Do you think now is a good time for us to turn the lights off?
I do, yes.
So far, it had been an incredible night as the cells of Derby Jail revealed a cruel and desperate history. We were all unnerved by thoughts of what would happen when the lights went out. The moving cross and my emotional outburst were enough to fill some crew members with doubt as to whether they could remain in the jail for the rest of the night. Those who stayed wanted to go back to the cell that seemed to be incredibly active.
What's that smell of flowers?
What?
Come in. It's not me.
Oh
There
my
is
God.
as well, yeah.
Smell this, smell this.
Oh,
yes.
that's roses.
Yes, it's roses,
It
yeah.
is.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh
Isn't
my
it strong?
God. What a lovely smell.
I'll have to check everyone's perfumes now.
I'm not wearing
No, I know your perfume.
I am.
We talked about it earlier.
I don't know.
It's
I'll have to
fading a
check.
bit now, isn't it? Or is it my
Yes, it is. You're right.
It's
Almost
fading, it's almost
gone.
gone.
Gone completely.
Wow.
Gone now, completely.
Gone
I've never
completely.
ever smelled.
No, we've
just
been in
walked
here
in.
loads of times today and that smell wasn't in. He has not been in here at all. Hasn't.
No. Isn't that amazing? That was weird.
The interesting thing with allegedly paranormal scents or phantom smells is that they dissipate very quickly, and that did within about 2 or 3
Goodness
seconds. It
me.
completely went.
Yeah.
And smells don't do that naturally. not whether that's
No,
strong
they
or
linger.
linger.
Where?
Right between Jason and Derek.
Something here between us.
Or
It was interesting that this strange moving light, an orb, was seen at the same time as everyone was smelling roses.
Shall we now? I think what we should do is Mark and Ian. Are you happy to stay in here?
Yeah.
And Derek and I will, and Jason will go in the other cell. All right. So we'll go out, and Jason, if you can shut them in.
Yeah, I
Good luck,
will.
guys.
Good luck.
That was very strange, that smell, but I do need, in order to eradicate any possible natural causes, I need to check everyone's perfume, male and female.
Okay.
Hear that wind? Oh, it really is dark, and I'm glad, because I'm not anywhere and Mark seeing. Are you seeing anything? I don't know what I'm looking for if I see an orb. It'll be a little pinpoint of light. I think it's just an orb, actually. What was it like? Bottom left, it was just like a tiny comet. Yeah. And it just went dead slowly from... That's exactly it. But it wasn't that clear, that's the only thing.
I think that smell was interesting. I have smelled paranormal, for want of a better word, smells lots of times in different places. It's probably the most commonly experienced thing for me. And did you smell it as well?
Oh, yes, very much
That was
so, yeah.
very strong, it was really pungent.
Yeah.
And then it dissipated like that, that's
Yes.
it for me.
Just explain what Mark and Ian are doing next door.
The Mark and Ian are trying an experiment of automatic writing, which, if you go back to the Victorian era when mediums were very popular and it was extremely a good pastime for everybody, they used to try and do automatic writing whereby they have a piece of blank paper and a pen, close your eyes, ask a spirit to write through them. Now, a lot of this is illegible and nonsense, and that's probably what we'll get. But it's interesting to see if anything they come out with fits in with historical records that we can check. They may get nothing. I'll be very surprised if they get anything at all. But if they do, it's worth having a look.
I've actually, talking about this subject, I have actually seen a person instrumented, actually in front of my very eyes, actually doing pages and pages of very intricate, very articulate, very pronounced words where the person had no, let's say, didn't have the intellect to be able to put down all this stuff on papers, I've actually seen it.
I haven't seen it done. I've examined them after they've been done.
Yeah.
If you take, you all know about the case of Borley Rectory, the most famous psychical research case in history. They had literally pages and pages and pages, and they actually ended up using wallpaper because it was continual. The back of wallpaper to write up because there was so much coming out. And I think it's fair to say a lot of it was rubbish, but some of it made sense. It's like everything, it's open to interpretation and open to analysis of how much of it is right and how much of it is wrong. But it's interesting, it's another research tool that we use.
I'm just going to get up and stand up and have a little look. Okay. Just see if... Oh, is that you? That's you. Right.
Did you just point at me then?
No. I'm pointing at the door.
Convinced. Oh my god, I've just seen a fantastic, that must have been an orb.
Fan controller.
It went right across that, right,
Which is
I know
not gonna be
they
connected.
exist now.
The AI is actually enough.
Okay, did it go past
So
me?
obvious.
Yeah?
Oh.
I wonder how Mark and Ian are doing.
Hiya, princess. Hello. You having your
I
nap?
don't think so. I
You
think
good girl.
I know it's daft and it's
Who
silly,
diddly?
but I'm sitting here and I'm getting
What are
frustrated
you getting there?
because nothing is happening in here.
Oh, you found that?
Yeah, everything's
The
happening in
crossroads,
that.
everything's happening in that
What
room.
that?
I mean, I would personally like to go back in that room.
Yes.
And it's almost
Yeah.
like face your fear. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it smelled so lovely in there.
That was nice, that smell.
Why don't we just all go in there?
Should we go?
All of us?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what
Safety in numbers.
are you doing.
We've seen some orbs.
Great. We're coming to join you. There's that smell again.
Yeah, it's back.
Can't you smell it?
Yeah.
I can't smell it.
Can you not smell it, guys?
I can't smell it at all. I can't.
Have either of you got aftershave on?
I haven't, no.
Just give it its last coat of paint now. Then I'll put the radiator back together. And then try and mount it
Jason wanted to try out the
in the
automatic
case.
handwriting experiment on a few of us, but with
See
only
how
a
it
couple of lines
goes.
and squiggles drawn that meant nothing, we could not use the results as part of our paranormal investigation. The crew was shocked at the amount of paranormal activity that had happened earlier on in the evening, but some members wanted more. This wasn't to be. We were more than satisfied with
Don't
the
look at
strange
me like that.
roses, the orbs,
Have you seen
my
it?
strange outburst, and the moving
you seen
cross, and they all happened in the same
Oh.
cell.
You happy, Bubba? Go back to Bubba's.
When we arrived here, I was expecting very little. We got a plethora of phenomena. We got Yvette's breakdown in tears. We got the smell of roses, which nobody could explain, including myself. It was very strong, very pungent, dissipated suddenly and unnaturally. The main one is about the crucifix. This has not worked in most instances in my experience. There's a couple where it's worked, it's rare. It worked here, big stuff. And now, unfortunately, you can't see the edge of the paper. So somebody watching that who wasn't here will say, oh, somebody's doing the paper. All we can say is you can't see whether someone is or not. As far as we know, it wasn't a human being. The paper curls up, the paper moves at the front as well. It's very strange how it happens. All I can say is make up your own mind. I believe something unusual happened there. Well, I've known Yvette a little while now, seen her both professionally working and also in her own space, in her home, etc., etc. And her reaction yesterday doesn't gel with her character or personality as I perceive it.
Directly before Yvette started to experience this, I felt as if I was getting that energy coming towards me, and what I did in just a reactionary way said, no, you know, I don't wish, and suddenly it jolted over, and poor lady got the brunt of it.
I am convinced, personally, that what happened to her is not explainable by tiredness, expectancy of fear, all the things that we get in other places. I'm not saying what the cause was. Something happened to her, and I can't really explain what it was, knowing what I know about her.
I wanted to leave Derby Jail as quickly as possible. It was a strange place with an oppressive atmosphere. Everyone had been affected in some way or another, and no one was keen to go back.
This cardboard box, which obviously can catch fire very easily, was on top of these rings. It was directly there. It's several of them, so it's not just one knob. Feel them. There are.
There are 40 abandoned stations on the underground network, and Aldwych is the most intriguing of them all. The station was built in 1907 and was known then as the Strand, as it was built on the site of the old Royal Strand Theatre. It's said the ghost of a young actress has been seen on many occasions. Maybe she refuses to take her last curtain call. The Strand, or Aldwych as it was known later, was closed for most of World War II and used as an air raid shelter. It became a second home to many Londoners of all classes and ages, sheltering each night from the bombs and destruction above. Given the strong associations with the Second World War, we thought this would be the ideal location to conduct a time slip experiment. Some experts in the paranormal field believe that surrounding yourselves with the costumes and artifacts of a particular period can induce time itself to replay. By spending 24 hours in the tunnels of the London Underground, we hope to experience some kind of paranormal activity. Are there any souls still present believing that the war never ended? Will we meet the lady who walks the platforms, or would the dark, claustrophobic tunnels get the better of us?
help us with our 24-hour vigil here at the London Underground, we've enlisted, of course, our usual members of the crew. There they all are. Say hi. We've got Mark on camera and Martin there, who's never scared even of the dark, are you, Martin? Never. And not only do we have the motley crew, but we also have the help of our usual experts. Jason, I know you think it's a little bit strange that I made you wear this outfit, but I have heard that if you wear uniforms, costumes from the past, it can entice paranormal activity.
Well, it's not scientific at all, obviously. It's great fun, and I think if you look at the histories and studies that have been taken place of places where people reenact the past, like manor houses where they have feudal reenactments, you do get a lot of alleged paranormal phenomena happening when people are in fancy dress and people are reenacting the past. So it might, if you believe in ghosts, make something more happen.
Apart from that, I think it's good fun anyway. Now, Jason, you normally bring the EMF reader with you, don't you, and other bits of equipment, but you're not going to be using any of those tonight, are you?
Well, no, there's a lot of natural electric energy around here because of the electricity in the tunnels which power the trains, so we won't be able to detect any unusual fluctuations.
Now, we've caught things like orbs. We know that they're connected with haunted places. Do you think that maybe we might catch anything here tonight? Not just orbs, but any paranormal activity, because it seems very sort of cold and empty.
I think what's more likely to happen here is that people will just become irrationally scared because of the dark, because it's cold, and because of the rats.
Rats?
Well, it's naturally rats here. They'll be scurrying around our feet, I'm sure, later on. So if you do feel something touching you, it won't be a ghost, it will be a rat.
Thanks for sharing that with me. I'm not happy about that. So did you all know that? Yeah. See, they kept it from me.
Jason was laughing now, but the fear was to get to him before anyone else. We had our usual crew with us, but we needed the help of our spiritualist medium, Derek Akora, who would be arriving later. All of us got the feeling we were going to need all the help we could get in trying to find any supposed ghosts.
We've been down numerous tunnels, you've got new guys with you, they do get a bit worried, you get a nervous and edgy, they get nervous, and as soon as they hear anything, that's it, and they just don't know what's in front of them, and also they don't know what's behind them. We've been down tunnels and we know all the systems off, the juice is off, and the icy cold blasts of winds, we hear various sounds, wind changes down there, you know, warm blasts of wind, cold blasts, it just gets things like that, different noises, a bit eerie at times. The drivers of the train were asked to stay for the night, but for some reason they weren't very happy about the idea and got a bit spooked by it and said no, really. Yeah, I believe in ghosts.
This is the eeriest place I think I've ever been to. It's just so quiet and hardly anybody ever comes here anymore. And if you imagine what it must have been like during World War II when the air raid went off and everybody rushed down here to get to the platform and to feel safe. But I think another reason why I feel very frightened is because it's so dark. It's very, very cold and very, very quiet. And this is the very platform where the supposed ghost of the actress is said to walk. In 1907, the Strand Station was opened. Strangely enough, it was never very popular with the public. And within 10 years, the Eastern Tunnel, that's the one I'm standing on now, was closed down and fell into disuse. Now, out of all the tunnels that we're visiting tonight, this one in particular has an incredibly weird feel to it. And a lot of cold spots have been reported here and very eerie feelings.
Before we started our investigation, we had to get a few things straight. This was to be one of the most dangerous places we were to spend the night, and safety was paramount.
I don't know which tunnel we want to go down. We want to go down all of them, don't we?
Yeah, we've got problems with actually walking on rails.
Yeah, even though there's no electricity, we can't walk on the rails. We've got to be very careful about that. And I think what we may do, if everybody's happy with that, is to split up into small groups.
I mean, let's face it, we're going to be wandering through the tunnels of the London Underground. I mean,
People will think they experience things here because it's the irrational fear of the dark. But here, rather than having the moon and perhaps a street light, we've got absolute, complete pitch darkness without our torches, and that will instill a lot of fear.
Gonna be great.
Do you know the most frightening thing is that Barry is going to be looking us in.
No, he's giving me the key.
Well done. So we're going to be locking you in, and he said, "Is that all right?" And I went, "Yeah." And I thought,
What would happen as well if there's an emergency? You know, and we can't get out.
I have heard a story that this station, we know, was built on the site of a theatre. The theatre was actually demolished to make way for the station. Construction started in 1898, the actual station being opened in 1907. Allegedly, in those days, each theatre had its own leading lady, and the actress of the day objected most strongly to the theatre being demolished. And one assumes that this is now the young lady who has still got a presence here. But I'm very much hoping that this activity will prove the point one way or the other. And it will be very interesting to see the results that it particularly is obtained from your medium.
Well, the story has it that the actress, who's the main ghost here that people have sensed, is actually angry because her theatre, her world, if you like, was destroyed and demolished to the ground in order that this station be built. So the reason she's haunting here and lingering here is through anger and through anguish that something she loves so much has been destroyed.
I've heard that over the years, occasionally there has been this presence, even before the station was closed. Because in latter years, this line had a checkered history, was only open during peak hours, for example, before it was finally closed in 1994. This station does have some paranormal activity. It allegedly manifests itself by a drop in temperature, and one doesn't see anything, but one feels a presence.
Having had no idea where he was being brought to, our spiritualist medium Derek Akora had eventually arrived.
I've experienced a little bit of what we call activity at the back of me. I'm picking up quite a little bit of residual stuff as well. I'm hoping for possibly 3 different individual link-ups, spiritually, rather than the residual energy. I'm very optimistic. I believe that there's going to be quite probably a lot of activity from a couple of individuals that I feel are a resident down here, resident spirit people. And I've already got the inclinations of both a male and a female. In actual fact, I pick up 2 females psychically and 1 male. And if I'm correct in my psychic assumption, I feel that at least 2 of these, possibly the 2 females, have been here for long-standing time.
Being dark, of course, we're all frightened of the dark. It comes down to an irrational fear of not knowing what's around us. And so that's going to have some effect here. I think also we may sort of feel generally depressed because of the sort of wartime remembrances and history which is attached to the place. So that will affect people. Whether it's ghostly or whether it's psychosomatic, I may question.
Now then, what do you think of this place then, Derek?
Well, this is different a bit, isn't it? It really is. I mean, it's quite stunned me, really. There's energy, most definitely energy, residual energy. I'm also being made aware of a lady who comes here.
Yeah.
And what I feel about her is that this is the way she puts the feelings on me now.
Mm-hmm.
As if, there she is, she's 10 characters, not 1. People who've been down here in the physical, living people at times, run out of here scared because of this lady, because she walks. And she comes along the tracks. And she says, can they see me? Can they see me? And they're cleaning away. Oh my God! And they run like this. And I pick up all it because she's reenacting this with me.
Have these cleaners actually seen this ghost?
Yes. First name, Sam says, Margaret.
Margaret.
Do you know when this is? How long ago are we talking?
Oh, God. I feel, wow, it must be way back because I feel as if the station's not here.
Right.
It's not here. It's going back. There's another lady who she's talking to Sam about. She's the old lady who's white of hair. She's elderly. And she lost her life further on. But,
do you want to walk further
yes,
on?
please, could we? Because I feel as if we want to go further. There's nothing at all, as I'm walking this atmosphere, there's nothing of what we call negative feeling. Do you not sense, like, a portion of people, a lot of people, all huddled together? And it's like, I want to go back to the Second World War time and what have you, and I feel there was bundles of people, massing men, women, children, all coming and lying and trying to be safe from the bombings. And there's the little lady, who's the white-haired elderly lady. She saved a man in other tunnels, and you know, had she not gone and touched the man across his head to bless him, a few minutes later, he could have died and walloped with voltage in his body, but by her touching him, she put that spiritual protection, and he didn't pass at that time. You know, this old lady passed many, many years before. You know how she passed? She fell onto the lines.
What's her name, Derek?
She didn't want him to suffer the same fate. So she come in protection and did this to him.
So she, basically, you're saying, when you say the same fate, you mean she was electrocuted?
Yes, she was. I'll just check.
Sorry.
I'm pressuring you.
Okay, don't do that to your chest. Alice. Alice Humphreys. Humphrey. Alice Humphreys. She's a real Cockney sparrow.
When you were talking, saying that she saved somebody down the track, do you mean at a different station?
Yes.
And would
Come
you
on.
know what
But she
station?
comes here. She
Why
comes
is she
right
coming
along.
here?
I don't know. There must be a connection with this other one. See if you can get hold of the name, please, Sam. It's most important. Please, try your best. Come on, I'll be your mate. Say it again. Come on, you're getting it through. Hold the key. Hold the Old gate. Old gate. Old gate. Old gate? Old gate. The connection. That's the connection. Thank you. The man who was saved, linked with Aldgate, actually worked here. But she saved him there for him to come back and work here. And his connection, he comes back now and again and goes through the thankfulness of him being saved.
Right, I'm going to call it.
Somebody almost met their death.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. I will be live later on, so I'll see you guys then. See you then. Lots of love. Bye, everybody.